Hello there, in this video, I'm going to be explaining Backrooms level 360, also known as YKLUB.RM. This is one of those levels in the lore that actually sounds pretty nice to go to. There's candy, there's relaxing rooms that you can explore, and if you remember those old mall candy shops from back when you were a kid, that's pretty much what this entire level is, and a whole lot more. But for some reason, I still don't trust it. If that sounds cool, or even interesting in the slightest, stick around for the explanation, leave a like on the video if you actually end up enjoying it. If you don't enjoy the video, don't leave a like. Okay, it's pretty simple. But thank you for watching. Let's go ahead and get into the explanation, shall we? Level YKLUB.RM has been given a classification of Class 1 and is safe, stable, but has a small, non-life-threatening entity count. Really, there's only one entity. The level resembles the real-life chain store called Mr. Bulky's, which used to be a very popular candy store inside of malls across the USA and other parts of the world. Now, the majority of the level does take place inside of the confines of the candy store, but there are a few other parts as well that I'll discuss later on. Don't you worry. Off the bat, when you get sent to this candy store, you'll notice that the level has a very strong scent of peppermint and chocolate and bubblegum and other candies kind of wafting through the air. It's sweet, but it's not overbearing, and it's actually like a refreshing smell to your nose because the whole back room probably smells awful. Now, this is going to be a really niche thing. If any of you watching this have ever been to that candy store on the Las Vegas Strip, the one with the giant M&Ms and stuff, that building smells like how this Backrooms level is going to smell. The entirety of the level's walls and floor area are lined with clear bins and shelves that are filled to the brim with candy. But specifically, many of these candies are what I would call retro. There's things like Necco wafers and taffies and mallow cups and things of that nature and melting chocolates. And in the typical Backrooms fashion, there are also candies here that have never existed in real life, and those are available to eat as well. People who have eaten those different candies have described these unknown candies as otherworldly or ethereal, which probably means they're really good if you're going to use ethereal to describe candy. Moving further into the store, you're going to notice various shelves that have hanging racks filled with old toys and memorabilia, and when I say old, I mean old. Some of these toys and knickknacks look like they're from the 1950s, and some look like they're from the 80s and 90s. There's old metal lunchboxes and robots and aliens and things of that nature. The typical toys that you would expect to find inside of a candy store in a mall. Now, there are also more modern candies available as well, as the pictures of the level that are provided on the page seem to indicate things like Whoppers and Charleston Chews and Kit Kats and things like that. I guess now that I think about it though, those candies have also been around since way back in the day. They're just still popular. Whatever the case is, there's tons of candy. If a candy bin is emptied and all of its contents are gone, the level seems to refill that bin fully through an unknown way, and the Backrooms tends to have this effect across other levels as well, with things like vending machines restocking themselves or water basins kind of filling themselves back up. No one's sure how it happens, but it does, and I just have learned really not to question anything because it wouldn't make any sense if I did. I'm sure you've all been asking the question though, what happens if you eat any of this candy in the store? So I figure I might as well tell you that when ingested, the sweets tend to lightly relieve anyone's emotional and mental stress or anxiety, so they're all safe. And that's a pretty good thing because the Backrooms is definitely a place that'll stress anyone and everyone out when they're stuck in it, because you're running away from not being alive all the time, and you don't really have a good time. Moving further into the level and in this large store, there are also various areas where you can get drinks too. Although the page doesn't specify which kind of drinks are here, I'm gonna assume it's keeping in theme with the other candies from the 50s to the 80s, so there's probably gonna be sodas from the 50s to the 80s, like Coca-Cola, Knee-High, Orange Crush, root beer, 7-Up, other things of that nature. Think of an old sock hop, and that's the kind of stuff you'll get here. Whatever the case is, all the candies and all the drinks, and there's even tea here, all of it's safe to consume. There's no poison, there's no adverse effects, kinda. But as I said at the beginning, I don't quite trust the level. It does seem a little bit too good to be true. We'll get into that later, but just keep that in your mind. Moving on to the back of the store, you'll be able to locate the bathroom area and the stock room. And the bathrooms are clean and sterile, and they're 100% usable. The sinks and the toilets work. They're also stocked with amenities like soap and towels and cleaners and other things pertaining to that, which is pretty nifty because most Backrooms levels, they don't have that nice stuff. You know, you kind of have to go weeks at a time without showering when you're in the Backrooms. So you can do that here probably. The stock room is over on the other side past the bathrooms, and inside of it, you'll just see a large room with shelves with overstocked boxes that seem to have candy but are never opened. Again, because somehow the Backrooms restocks the bins themselves without even using the actual stock they have. This entire level, and I mean literally every square inch of it, seems to be safe. It appears to be, right? You think it's okay. It's just a candy store. There's no entities. It's not dark. It's bright. It's lively. It smells good. But I am not sure about that, and I'll tell you why. There's one entity that you'll be able to encounter when you're exploring this candy store, and his name is Mr. Colby. Now, Mr. Colby is the sole proprietor of the store, and he seems to be kind of the one that runs it and organizes it and checks people out and stuff. He looks physically to be an older gentleman, around 75 years old, and it's assumed that he's a faceless entity, even though he has a face. He's been described as calm and courteous in general, and normally just pretty chill. The page claims that Colby has a soft, warm smile and the most prismatic colored eyes, which I want you to keep in your head. That's a pretty strange way to describe a person. He spends most of his time walking around the store and tidying up and keeping an inventory on like a notebook of what everything is selling and stuff like that. He also helps people find what they're looking for. If you want a specific candy, he can direct you to it. The page also says that there are other entities that can come here from different levels, like they accidentally no-clip or whatever, but usually when they do, they become non-aggressive due to the effect that that candy gives off, and it kind of makes them docile. Mr. Colby has been quoted as saying, quote, "I am truly blessed to be able to provide everyone with a sense of comfort, nostalgia, wonder, and above all, a respite, no matter how brief," end quote. Now, I will say, the next thing I'm going to tell you is why I don't really trust this dude or the level, and it's because he essentially was interviewed by this person one time, and he forced them to eat candy and to drink tea from here, and this doing so made this interviewer very anxious and very emotional, to the point where after the interview, they left and quit interviewing people and were never seen again. And you can look on the page, Mr. Colby essentially like yells and forces this person to eat and to drink. He makes them have a brief respite, as he says. So I don't know what that's all about. It seems like he might secretly be not good. I don't know though. Moving on from that though, this level has other unique features that most Backrooms levels don't. The main one is that there are advertisements for this level that are spread across different other levels. Here on the levels page, there's a giant list of different areas where posters have been seen, all the way from level 4 to like level 500. But on these different places, you can see these posters advertising the candy shop popping up. They show deals on candies and drinks, and they kind of just generally showcase what the store has to offer, and they invite people to come buy stuff using kind of deals and sales tactics like that. And the weird part about it is no one knows who makes them or who puts them up, because they've been witnessed just appearing on the walls, like just literally apparating from nothing. But I do think it's pretty neat that the level does kind of its own marketing. That's pretty cool as far as levels go. There are no colonies on this level due to its smaller size, and to enter, you can do so while being chased by a smiler entity, or, if you don't want to almost die, you can find a trail of candy wrappers inside of a mall-themed level, and you can follow those. They'll eventually lead to the level, or you can no-clip through one of those advertising posters that you see in any other place. Exiting is also pretty easy, as all you have to do is walk out through the front doors or the stockroom doors, and you'll be sent out. And that's pretty much the level, but I just want to kind of draw your attention to the fact that this is literally a perfect level, right? Like, theoretically, you can't get, injured here. It's just candy, drinks, a chill time with a chill kind of owner of the store. Maybe it's because I'm paranoid and I've been doing dangerous levels for too long, or maybe it's because I have a sixth sense and I don't trust it, but I don't. I don't trust this level, so for some reason, I literally have no idea why. Maybe it's because, like I said, I'm just paranoid, but whatever the case is, let me know in the comments if you would venture to this level, if you kind of trust it. I think it can be pretty cool, but I'm kind of trepidatious about it. Whatever it is, maybe I would go to get some candy. I kind of like Kit Kats. So thank you for watching all the way to the end of the video. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like. I'd really appreciate that. As I'm pumping out all these new videos, I really hope you're enjoying them. If you have any suggestions for things I should cover, please leave a comment as well. Really helps the algorithm out, really helps the channel out. If you want more from me, obviously check out the other links in the description. There's my Instagram, my TikTok, my other channels, yada, yada, yada. You know the deal. Thank you so much. I hope you had a great day, and I will see you in the next video on any of my channels, wherever the internet takes me. Bye.